We have a escalating number of illegals and how to rationalize the system. Um, and it has to do with this young people who are in schools and illegals and excelling, and then it brings a burden on our conscience, showing like, oh, look at these good, smart, brilliant illegals, and so on and so forth. I see just the other day in Florida, there's this young girl who was she was already deported. She was here since four, and she has a GPA of 6.75, if I remember correctly. And everybody's saying, "Wow, that's a big number." But was it an A or you can't go more than an A now. You see people getting A plus and all this kind of pampering to young people and so forth. That's like the Greeks. It's all about the students as opposed to the nation and getting this information and transmitting important cultural sort of values. But in Florida, I understand the judge ordered her deported, and there was a big rally in support of her staying. But then, many years ago, George Bush II had proposed to regularize illegals, and then there was a big demonstration in Florida again. So, what's it really these folks want to do? He wants to regularize the illegals? No, don't do it. But here's an illegal that the government is trying to get rid of, and they're saying, "Oh, she's so bright, let her stay." So I'm not sure, how to really go about this. But talking about these though, and here this group here, they're trying to get scholarships, and they don't have no status, no social security number, and the whole 9 yards. And sometimes, the president and others, it's a tugging at the heart as to what is the best thing to do, you know. But I think people are conditioned, and illegals now will show that they're invaluable by excelling in schools, and then it becomes like a tug of the heart and destroy the society. We try to get them out of here. And or first of all, our educational standards aren't that high, so that anybody, even somebody who's mentally ill, could still, come out on top. So that might be the first problem in having a criteria that truly reflects, the ability. You see, educational and IQ tests and all that weren't necessarily to say like, oh, look, I have this high marks. So they're trying to find a way to know how you could find people that have enormous potential or who've actualized, in other words, who have that capacity in mind, and who actualize it and so forth, and that's the whole point. But a lot of times it's failing to do that because the intelligence test, and they're saying now it's escalating, it's getting higher, people are more smart than before. And a lot of times the white people that formulate these tests, and they're thinking of how they think and how they live, and that's the test. And so whites will score well on it, blacks will have a different mindset and different cultural experience, not do well, and then they come with, oh, the whites are so smart and so on. Then the Asians have money to pursue it and do whatever it takes, and they also come out like if they're smart. But it's like they discovered that people from Asia, where the innovation and the new products are coming out from, these kids, when they come over here, they excel in schools and so forth, and then it breaks your heart to have to deport them or let them graduate and go away because it can be a brain drain. But what they've also discovered, that even these young people here who are playing bright and all this stuff, did I say playing bright, the girl in Florida and all them, their kids might end up just being like the regular American because they will grow up here and they'll have money and status and so forth, and they'll have television, Sesame Street, and all those shows that are kind of debilitating and putting us back. So that the first generation come in and say, wow, hey, the Asians and these Latinos, they're good. But their generation, they turn and come out just normal because you can't spank them. You're going to have to follow the American culture. And they watch television. They want to have television in their house. They have cell phones. They're on yabba yabba all day. And these here don't have that kind of access, so they spend all the time studying. And those that show, like even the president had a science day when these young people came out and showing what the products he's developing and so forth. As I said, blacks could do the same. But in Florida, this black boy who was in the gifted program, as I said, teacher harassed him to death. She got rid of him. And as a black guy, I couldn't help this guy. I couldn't now volunteer to help him to study and to get the assignments done because now they're going to target me. And if I go to the authorities and say this was happening again, I'm going to have some problems. So I just had to stay out there. And this guy crying, and then eventually they got rid of him from the program. And he told me, say, the white students aren't doing as bad as him. Same thing, they're not getting the work done, or he's getting more work done than them, and she's not bothering them, she's just harassing him. But with the ones that see they have the support now, teachers will help them out and so forth. And some of them, the parents might be good, the parents might be an engineer, parents might be a professor or something like that. And so they give them some little ideas, and they guide them along, and they come to the product, and then it's like you say, wow, this guy is going some way, so bright. But it's the parents that trying to shine through these kids and give them these various ideas and products, and they come with and masquerade like it was theirs. And then of course, I mean, you could really say it's the child's because the parents guide them different stages and let them lead and give them guidance, and then they could claim it as theirs. But in real terms, if they had been born in a different family, even with the same status, but wasn't necessarily in that field, father wasn't a professor or a scientist or whatever, then they wouldn't have been able to do that stuff. Okay, so the parents give them some projects. Maybe immigration reform needs to come somehow, some way. But this big emphasis that these young people are so bright and that we should cut our arse off to help them out. I mean, it's like, I'm not sure if they're really, really, really that bright, because I know that in my country, we write off some people that are so stupid at talking crazy all day. It's like, man, just go away from me, man. You're stupid, like funny. It's not that they're creative and they're thinking way out and some ideas like we should go to the moon and we'll make microwave and cell phones. No, they're talking just dumb stuff like they're mentally ill or something. But they will come to America and come back and say, I'm a medical doctor. We saying, how you became a medical doctor? What? At a certain time in Caribbean, when you come back with an American degree, they give you a test or something like that. Or they tell you, man, listen, man. But I don't know if there was an arrangement. No, I don't know if they still do the same thing. But I know that they don't accept certain professionals to get full status in the Caribbean except you went to the University of the West Indies. Medicine and certain engineering and so forth. I mean, you just can't, graduate in Canada and go down there and say that, oh, I'm an engineer. You have to go to school and do some tests, like what America does do. You come in as a medical doctor, you do a test. But, I mean, as a teacher, I know that these guys are not challenged, no way. Some guy says, I study zero, I don't do no homework at all. But yet, he's on the honor roll. And I'm saying, like, man, how you could do that, bro? I mean, I once in California, I met some guys. They passed me, they showed me no respect. So I intercept them and we talking. And this guy knows the periodic tables and all this math and so forth. And the smoking and doing all kind of dumb stuff. I think that they were just sort of study that, I think, to come to impress me or something like that. They have to have this interaction with the government, and they're trying to show me that maybe I'm nothing and these guys are good. And so, because I mean, it's not required to know the periodic table, but this guy knew it, and he was not foreigner. So I all have to conclude is that maybe they groomed him and sent him out there to change my mind and tell me that everything is good. But I mean, okay, everything is good, man. But what's gonna happen? The reality gonna catch up with us, because I know that it's not really, working. I mean, the enemy is surely undermining the stuff. So bottom line is that these students basically that excelling, I would take it with a grain of salt. I wouldn't necessarily make it no big sweat. Go and join the army and go and pick some corn and some stuff and get on with life and all that. Don't think that I'm sending you to Ivy League and and whatever, and then you laughing at me saying that I really am smart. I just play this game, play nice to my teacher, bring them some sandwich and some flowers, and they treat me good, and tell the teacher, I need to notice some more. Could you help me? Play like they want to go to the next level. And all these games just play with teachers, but it's interesting, and I'm not impressed basically though, because I think that you could fake it a lot, And especially as I say, with the system where it's so easy that they really want you to get on and they really want you to go to school because it's the money thing, the capitalism thing, and we get mixed up with real potential and real achievement with just a kind of show and just a kind of facade. So I would like to know really and truly if these guys really have the intellectual capacity that they're trying to demonstrate, or whether it's real or not, I don't know, and I will never know. But it's interesting though to see that how it's going on. But as I say, they don't have no life. You just gotta hook up in home. You can't go in and I don't know. I think the cops would arrest them and so on. So they still have to read that, and perhaps that's good. But do they have any abilities with our system of just being able to go to the next level to pay that money, keep that money coming? I don't know how to test them out. So I guess that's how that is.